Okay. For whatever reason, I'm out of sync, so I'ma just get to it real quick. I was searching for some historical stuff, and I came across this pretty dope article. It talks about the women's club movement, which essentially is the women's right movement. But what I thought was interesting about this is that their language sounds a lot like traditional white supremacy language, um, even to the point to where they're saying that they kind of civilize society. Let me get straight into the article. Let me get straight into it. So, the women's club movement started in isolated efforts of women. Even before the beginning of the 19th century, a women's club was established as early as 1735 in New York City, and one was flourishing there as early as 1747. The purpose of these early clubs was philanthropic and literacy. The real movement of women's club, however, did not begin until the first of the 19th century. In 1839, there were as many as 680 clubs or societies. From the start, women's clubs were a light giving and seed growing organization, and unlike most men's organizations, were not chiefly for social purposes. Okay. Sounds like a little shade, but whatever. Now, this is where I found out, or I figured out, this is feminism. It's the same rhetoric. She is trying to be something more than an efficient cradle rocker for children. She has found a bigger purpose in it all. She knows that the only way to become this efficient cradle rocker is an efficient citizen as well. She must devote much of her time to subjects that are enlarge her mental background and understanding of the world around her. She must see to it that all of her available ability must be devoted to securing every means of abating the private home by helping to create a decent town. Man, all of her available ability devoted to securing every means of aiding the private home by helping create. Okay. Well, I mean, it doesn't sound bad, but the way it translated, um, a self-devoted growth organization. They are a study whose extent covers all the fields of human culture, with a special emphasis placed upon the humanities, current events, and considerable efforts in science and homemaking. Hmm. The second current of this movement began to assume more definite direction in 1867 when the Press Club of New York City gave a dinner to Charles Dickens. A number of women who were quite uh, literary and active in many women's club organizations were refused admittance to this dinner. Because of this, they resented the dinner incident and met the following year to organize a club of their own, which the Soroses, whatever you call it, given. This was followed by similar organizations in New England and Atlantic states. From this time forward, the movement spread rapidly, and up until 1889, the Club of New York invited to send representatives in celebration. So clearly, first wave feminism was not in the 1960s. First wave feminism was when the minority of European women came clearly and already had some sort of wealth with them and were demanding rights and were, I don't know. I'm trying to I was trying to understand how bad women are oppressed, and I'm seeing a group of women that already had power and were literate because they were writing articles. So it's I don't know, it's very interesting.